Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us on yet another great episode coming up of Knuckle Up. And why will it be great? Because we have a special guest on Talkin' Fight. Yes, sir. Mike has lined up yet another interview with yet another great fighter. And Mike, I'll leave it up to you to introduce him.
Definitely. Fight fans around the world, Knuckle Up fans, thanks for tuning in. Today we have with us Brian Norman Jr., 20-0, 17 knockouts. The Assassin, too, 20 years old, out of Atlanta, Georgia, has taken the time out of his busy schedule to stop by and have this wonderful interview with us. So, you know what? We're going to get right to it because I know he's a busy man. I know he's, got training in the way, all over the place. He's busy, man, and we're stretching him as much as we can to get him here. So let's get him in here and start this interview, Graham. We're going to knock you out and bring him in.
Yeah, I'm back to the match.
Yeah, definitely. Enjoy that fight there. Brian, how are you, man? How's it going?
Everything all right. Just like you just said, working and everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're very busy, man. I know you got some fights coming up, right? In
Right now, we're working on the fight. I just fought Saturday. So
yeah, you
right
did
now,
at Buckhead Fight Club, right?
yeah. So I just fought Saturday, fourth round TKO, and right now just training again. Just waiting for the next fight.
Nice, excellent. So let's dive into it. So what age did you start boxing at, and how'd you get into it?
The whole thing I had started fighting. I was 7 years old. My daddy used to fight, as you see, the Assassin 2. My daddy was the original. They called me 2.0. But I was 7 years old. He came home. He said, "D, I'm thinking about retiring." I said, "Well, can I join in? Can I get started?" He looked at me and said, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "It's a dangerous sport. People coming out, head trauma and everything like that." I said, "Yes, I want to do it. Of course, I want to be just like my daddy." So that's where I got in. The first thing he taught me was defense. For that exact reason, because boxing is a dangerous sport. So started off when I was 7. I still love it to this day.
Okay, so your father was a boxer, and this is one of your big inspirations. Want to be just like dad, get in the ring with him. What does he think about all it, man? Does he really push you and really back you behind by your training and everything? Because he is your trainer as well, correct?
Yeah, most definitely. Of course, he's gonna push me all the way. He goes. We're not going to go in half stepping. We're gonna go in all the way, make sure everything is everything. And he want to make sure for a fact I can be at the top. We don't want to just be a mediocre fighter who just go in, win a few fights, and then end up falling off sometime. No, we want to be the best of the best. Want to be Hall of Fame, legendary. Want to be everything.
You want to take the family name and make it great. That's amazing. So you started boxing at 7. So your amateur career, I think you had something like 140 wins in your amateur career. What age did you start? Did you start competing as an amateur?
I started when I was 7, and the first age you can fight is 8. So as soon as I turned 8, I started fighting. And to be real with you, I don't know how many fights I won or anything. I know I had over 150 fights, but I only had 22 losses. So that's the only thing I do remember. So that's about it. Yeah.
With that many fights as a youth, did you find it hard to juggle your academics and the sport of boxing? Was it hard to do that, or?
No, not at all. I mean, if you just do it, it's just like doing football and anything like that. You do school first. As soon as you go home, go straight to the gym. Then just repeat. And then like in high school, I started waking up earlier, then go running in the morning, and then so it's all about fitting your schedule. You got all the time in the world, so it's all about fitting in your schedule.
So you're saying that as long as you can structure your life properly, it's easy to balance both boxing and school. Do you do any other sort of extracurricular activities outside of boxing, or is it just too much? You don't have enough time for it?
No, I just wasn't interested in nothing else. That's all. So it was just all boxing. I want to play basketball. I'll be rich. I want to play basketball, but it was something I just do for fun. It's not nothing I really want to get into. I did want to run track because that also helped me with boxing. That's pretty much running strength and conditioning. So that's the only reason I want to run track. But that's about it.
Okay, so after high school, all that was done. Then you decided to go pro, right? You've been a pro since 2018.
Yeah, I turned pro when I was 17. I think as soon as my 17th birthday hit, my manager, Cameron Duncan, he called us. He said, "Do you want to go pro?" We talked about it for a minute. We finally said yes. And I think January 2018, January 20th to be exact, I had my first pro fight.
Now, can you run us through the excitement and the nerves and everything when you walked into the ring for that first fight, and how you calmed yourself down?
Actually, for some reason, I was calmer than usual because I won a few nationals before that. So, like, the first time going to the nationals, of course, you nervous and you very anxious. So, after I won a few of those amateur tournaments, now I was number one in the nation. I think 2 years straight, or 2 or 3. I think it was 3 years. 2 years. I was 2 years straight, number one. So I was like, you know what? I got the talent, I got the skills, so why come in nervous? So I just came in. Of course, I did like the fans because the fans were cheering like more. And amateur boxing, I mean, it's just another fight. They just go in, cool, get out. It's no really noise from the fans, but the fans love me. I was in Texas. The fans love me in Texas.
Oh yeah, well you did finish that one in the first round with a TKO, right? So
First round, I think it was me at 30.
so with the hype of the fans and everything, today with all the things that's going around, the world with the pandemic and everything, do you think that affects fighters with not having the fan base there and it being more quiet? Because a lot of people do feed off the energy of the crowd, and when you start getting on a roll and you start going, and the flow is going and the fans are cheering you on. Do you find it different fighting with a fan base and without a fan base now?
I would have to say that depends on the type of fighters. Like, if you're a fighter who, for example, Adrian Broner, I would say he'll be the type of fighter that it will affect him because he is very outspoken for the crowd and everything like that. So I think for somebody like him, it'd be an issue, just a small issue. But for the most part, we're professionals, so we get the job done under any circumstances.
Okay. Any who are the fighters that you look up to? Some idols of yours when you were growing up in the sport, young. Who did you look up to? Who did you want to image yourself after, other than your father, who was also a boxer?
My five are Ali, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Marvin Hagler, and James Stone.
The Kings, baby, the Kings. That's it. That's it. And soon to be Brian Norman Jr., right? The King.
Yeah. Also, I have to say Floyd Mayweather Jr. I like watching him too.
Honestly, I love all those guys as well, man. I'm a big fan of everybody that you mentioned. They are the kings of boxing, and you know what? You'll probably be a king of boxing one day yourself. You got a great record, man. Honestly, I love watching fighters like you, man, that don't leave it in the judges' hands. That's what we do on this show, man. I'm always talking about the hungry, the young, the undefeated. The future of the sport. And you know what? You are on the path definitely to become one of these guys, these legends, man. You got this great record. You got great management team behind you. What gym do you currently train at right now?
It's a gym called Granite City Boxing.
And they're out of
Ellenwood,
Atlanta, Georgia?
yeah, Ellenwood, Georgia.
Okay. And is it a big facility? Are there a lot of fighters out of there? Or is it just a small,
Yeah,
like, tight knit?
everybody in Georgia pretty much knows it. Period. You got Hakeem Lopez, both of the Lopez brothers. You got Hakeem Lopez, Najee Lopez. He turning pro soon. Najee Lopez. You got Casey Dixon. He's still an amateur, but he everybody knows Casey Dixon. You got him. You got a few other.
So the boxing scene in Atlanta has gotten big over the last couple of years, because I know a few years back it wasn't like it was hard because it was a very small community of boxing in Atlanta, and now it's starting to blow up. So you find now it's a lot better than it was 5 years ago.
I'm about to say yes because like even me, a little while back, I didn't see like same thing you saying. I didn't see a lot of people, but now that time goes on, I guess boxing got bigger, or Georgia got bigger. So yeah, now I see a lot more people trying to fight now.
Okay. So out of your wonderful career, all your knockouts, what what's your favorite one? What's your favorite knockout? of your career to date?
It's actually one that was in Georgia. I fought an opponent. He was I believe 6'2" or 6'3". He came in on the scale 8 pounds over the day before.
Wow.
And I knocked him out in like 20 seconds with an overhand right. Like it was a nasty one too. It was a nasty knockout.
You caught him slipping. What was the punch that put him to sleep?
It was an overhand right. I tried to clip him with a hook, but I missed, so I stepped over. He tried to catch me with a punch, but I shot him with an overhand right, and like he just straight fell to the ground like he limp.
Timber, he went sleeping. Hey, you put him to bed. You put him to bed and tucked him in good night. I love it. So you've had 20 fights or more than 20 fights now under your belt, and honestly, you're young in the game. A lot of people feel that you're rushing, right? But I don't think so, man. I think that your team is doing it the right way. You're taking your time. You're methodically planning your route to a championship eventually. I've read some things about you talking about it. Where do what are your short-term goals for, say, like the next 6 months to a year from now? Where do you see yourself being?
6 months to a year, I see myself. Even though people try to say I'm rushing it, like you just said, we got a whole plan set out, and we following that plan. We're taking everything at a nice steady pace. So in like 6 months or a year, I want to see myself like facing at least a top 30 or top 15 fight. And again, at least one of those vacant small belts to be able to be in the talks of getting a real belt.
So you guys got it planned out perfectly. Then you know exactly where you're going and know exactly how you're going to get there.
And I'm ready for
it. That's right. So in your career so far, I know you've probably stepped in the ring and maybe faced somebody that's faster than you or hits harder than you. How do you deal with that as an opponent?
Well, this is the thing. If they got one thing that's better than me, I will take that away from them. That's all it is. Say if you got faster feet, you can box all day long. All I'm gonna do is just cut the ring off and work the body, so now you can't move no more. Say if you hit hard, you got to hit me to make me even feel your power. So now I got good defense. It's all about being well balanced on everything. So that's my whole thing. I'm not one dimensional. I can fight coming forward. I can fight coming backward. I can slug it out with you if I have to. I can fight like Ali if I have to. I can do everything.
I do. You do have wonderful. Honestly, you do have wonderful defense. I do enjoy watching these guys try to hit you. It's actually incredible, man. The way you can just slip those punches, man, and then just retaliate with such force and such speed. Like I've seen clips of you, man, and it looks like you're doing burnouts on a heavy bag, and you got this guy like banged against the ropes, and it's just the punches are so fast. Like how do you improve speed as a boxer, like to get to the level that you're at right now? Because honestly, fight fans around the world, check him out, check out his clips, man. This guy is fast when I'm telling you, hands. How do you improve to get to the point that you're at right now with that speed?
The main thing is all about technique. It's the same thing with power. It's all about technique. Some people try to punch real long, and that's gonna take away from the speed of it. And also, like, don't show your punch. Like, if you show what you finna do, that's gonna take it away also. And the main thing is also be relaxed. If you're real stiff, you can't let it flow. So like people say I'm real muscular, but I'm not stiff with it. So I can just let it flow.
Now, I guess that just comes with experience and probably natural talent as well. Considering you are your father's son, and your father was a pro, and now you're a pro. Yeah. Let me ask you: does he get jealous of your success right now?
No, he loves my son. He loves every bit of it.
He's living through you, right? He's living vicariously through you at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he loves it. Like all the time he give me all the props of whatever in the world, but I deny every props because he's the one who taught me everything. So I say you are the reason. You the one who went through the trials and tribulations before to teach me all this stuff that you teach me. So he is the reason why I'm at where I'm at. So I know most definitely he is not jealous at all. He loves it.
I gotta ask you this: have you and your dad ever sparred in the ring?
Most definitely.
Yeah, let me guess. You caught him a couple. You caught him a couple times, though, right? You had to catch him a couple times in that speed.
The last time we sparred, I believe I was 14 or 15 years old, and I hit hard. And I get it from him. So he said we can't spar no more for this reason alone. If you hit too hard, so I can't hold back no more. He said I hit so hard that he wanted to hit me back, but he can't because I'm only 140 pounds and I'm 15 years old. So that's the only why we won't spar no more. He would have to fight me for real.
That's awesome. That's great. That's wicked, man. That's wicked. Long-term goals. What do you see? Like, what do you want to accomplish at the end of this career? And you hang up your gloves, and you're ready to leave the sport, ready to retire. What do you want to be known for? What are the long-term goals you want to achieve in your professional career?
Well, I want to be on top of the world. I want to be the Kobe Bryant of boxing, pretty much. I want to go 140 to maybe 154. With all the belts. If I can't make 160. But I want to fight at least. I want to fight literally every good fighters, the great fighters that I can in my weight class. I got Timo finna come up to 140 soon. Hopefully I can work with him. And then eventually go to 147. Whoever at 147, I want literally all the top fights. So I can be known as that dude. I want to be just another. Like, for example, we get Earl Spence his credit, we get Taylor Crawford his credit, but they won't fight each other. I want to be the person who, even though we got bad business, I guess you would say, I still want that fight.
Definitely. Okay, so yeah, you're not afraid. You're ready to take any fight, anytime. You don't care. You just that's it. You want to be known as the man, the Kobe Bryant of boxing. Honestly, it's in your hands. It's in your management team hands, and it could be a possibility. You're on your way there, man. You've got a great start to your career already. Can you describe out of all your wins right now, your worst performance and what you did to improve on that?
I'll have to say I don't know if I can call it my worst performance, but I just didn't look good as I wanted to look or whatever. But it's my fight before my last one. I could have got the opponent out in the first round. He didn't do nothing to me. That's the whole thing. That's why I said I know if I call it my worst performance. He didn't do nothing to me. He didn't hit me at all or anything like that. I just wasn't punching. So as you see in all my other fights, that's my main thing. I'm letting my hands go. For some reason, that fight, I wasn't letting it go. And that's why his previous fight, that's why my main thing was go. So I broke my habit of, I can't say that was a habit. I just broke that, whatever I was doing, just looking at his face. So, yeah.
Can you describe for the fans what it's like when you knock somebody out? Do you get a sense of accomplishment, like after you've trained so hard and you step in that ring and you get in there and say, you dust him in the first round and he's sleeping on the mat across from you? Describe the feeling that comes over you.
It goes two ways. The first way is, of course, enjoyment. You feel on top of the world, you feel unstoppable and everything like that. And then the second one, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but this is me. I still get disappointed because I train so hard for a fight. I train hard for a fight, but I knock you out real fast. But at the same time, we don't get paid for overtime. And
right.
I pretty much knock you out fast because of how hard I train. So, I mean, it's a good and bad thing for me personally.
So saying that, when you train so hard and that happens, it's kind of almost like a disappointment because you've worked so hard. Run us through what it's like when you enter training camp. Like, how many weeks is usually your fight camp? What is your day-to-day routine like? The time you get up, time you go to bed, and what are your eating habits like?
My eating habits for the most part, I can tell you off the top, is pretty much fish, chicken breast to be exact, and that's pretty much the meat part of it. Sometimes steak if I want it, but it's either pasta or rice, brown rice, broccoli and asparagus. That's pretty much I just put all of those in rotation for the most part. And as far as the time frame of it, I really don't have a time frame. I just work hard, all day. Like I just got out of the fight and I'm right back in the gym. So it's not really a training camp thing. I'm just always in I'm always going
So
to put my all in every day.
so you don't really do a training camp. You're just like always in training camp. You're pretty much you're ready to fight tomorrow if you get a call.
Yes, pretty much. Yes.
So always stay ready. So that's the key to it. That's how you rack up, I guess, 20 or over 20 fights right now. That's how you rack that up. Is just stay hungry, stay busy, stay ready.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what is the shortest amount of time that you've taken a fight on?
I have to say probably a week. I had a week to fight, and then I think right after that I fought another week. So I had one fight. I had a week to make weight and everything like that. But once again, I'm already pretty much in training camp. So I lost the weight real quick. I fought this week. We came back to Georgia. I was fighting Georgia the week following that. So we went up on, we fought that one too. And I had a 6-round knockout on that. I had a first round knockout on the first one. And I came back to Georgia, got a 6-round knockout.
I just love it, man. I love knockouts, man. I love knockouts. Honestly, I'm hoping we do a show on Sundays. It's the Knuckle Up Knockout of the week. Definitely. Hopefully, one of your next fights, man, we're gonna get to put you on there, man. So we can award you that award, man. Because honestly, yes, you are a knockout artist. I love it, man. It's great. So that being said, so your next fight, you don't know exactly when that's going to happen. You're just staying ready, staying busy. What is it? So what kind of like recovery time do you usually take after a fight? Do you you're just right back in the gym? You don't take like a week off or rest or anything? Just you stick straight to it?
I mean, I treat it like a sparring session pretty much. Like say if I start the day, if I'm sore the next day, I might chill at the start of the day, but I'm still do something later on. Even if it's something minor, I might just go running or something like that. Like I fought Saturday, Sunday, I did an upper body workout at the gym. So I mean, it depends on how I feel.
You just do work, man. That's it. What are some of the greatest challenges that you've faced in your career today?
Some of the greatest challenges. Good question. I really don't know. Like, my daddy taught me a lot of discipline, so it's not hard for me to make weight. He taught me a lot of skills, so when it comes out to actual fighting, that's not really a problem. So I mean, my dad put everything in me, so nothing really comes hard right now.
Okay. You don't work any like I've talked to a lot of young pro fighters right now. I've interviewed a bunch, and some of these guys actually work full-time jobs at the same time as balancing their boxing career. Are you in that boat? Do you work a full-time job as well, or a part-time job on top of balancing your pro career?
What I do is I work for Uber Eats. So what I do with Uber Eats is you can work whenever you want and you can not work whenever you want. And
Yeah.
I love that schedule because say I can wake up at 4:30, get a good workout in. I come back at like around 6 or 7 o'clock. I can work for Uber Eats for a quick second. I can go back to the gym at 12. Same thing. Just work for a minute and come back to the gym at 7. And I can just keep that a rotation. So that's why I like working for Uber Eats.
So so smart, man. Guys who are watching out there, fighters who've been on the show, listen to Brian Norman Jr., man. It's all about Uber Eats, guys. That's how you balance work and play and fighting, man. That's amazing. Dream fight, living or dead, who would it be?
Dream fight period. Roy Jones versus Gerald McClendon.
Yeah. Okay, that would be the dream fight. Okay, who's your dream opponent? Who would you like to fight, living or dead, today?
I have to say Pernell Whitaker, just because of how difficult that fight would be. He got one of the best defenses ever, and I would love that fight. Yeah.
Also, I believe he's the oldest champion ever too, right? Oldest guy to hold him up. Yeah. Oh, that's what that's the first time I've asked that question that somebody's actually told me Pernell Whitaker. Nobody's ever used him before.
I got two of them. You got Pernell, and then of course Marvin Hagler, just because of how tough he is. Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace to Marvin Hagler, man. boxing lost a really big asset to it, man. And it was a very sad thing, but definitely he is a beast, man. He's a truck. He hits hard, just like you. You know what? That would be an epic battle, and I'd definitely like to see that, man. That would be awesome to watch. That would definitely be awesome to watch. That being said, would you rather be loved or feared in your career?
Respected. I want to be respected. That's my
Respected. Thing. Okay. That's a new one. That's a new one. I've always asked lovers.
If you love me, you love me. If you hate me, you hate me. That don't matter. You're gonna respect me though. That's my main thing.
Yo, the words of a champion right there, man. Words of a champion. Honestly, thank you for taking the time out and and coming on here. I know you're really, really busy and everything. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Definitely, I want to see you in your next fight. Please let me know when it's going to happen. We'll definitely be cheering you on from the Talkin Fight family on Knuckle Up. Hopefully, you come through with a wonderful knockout, so we can award you this Sunday Knockout Award that we've grown to know and love now here at the Talking Fight family. I'm going to ask you, I guess, one more question. What do you want to be remembered for, inside the ring and outside the ring when it's over?
And I was the hardest working fighter ever. And I pushed myself to my limits, and I literally could not do more than what I have done in my career. Like I literally gave it my all. That's my thing.
So you want to be known for leaving it all out there and being the best that you could have been. And you know what? You're a humble man. Thank you for coming on, man. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Definitely let us know when you're going to be fighting again, guys. I got him in here, Brian Norman Jr. I told you I would. Definitely thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for reaching out to me. Would definitely want to have you on in the future. I definitely want to get you back in, hopefully right after your next knockout. And yeah, man, thank you again for coming on, man. Fight fans, as Brian Norman Jr., this is Mike Orafor. Knuckle Up. View it, like it, share it. Jab that like, hook, subscribe, knock out those comments. And guys, reach out, man. Let me know about the fighters you want to see, and I'll do my best to get them on here. Again, Brian, thank you again. We'll talk soon. And yeah, man, keep it real, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, we're gonna see you in the future, man. I know you got great things ahead of you in your career to come. You're still young in the game. You're hungry, guys. He's flashy. Make sure you watch him. Remember the name. That's Brian Norman Jr., the Assassin 2. Assassin 2. Remember that name, guys. You're gonna hear it in these books for a long time, man. He's got a long career ahead of him. Trust me. Watch this kid. He knows what he's doing. He's got the ability to do it all. Guys, thanks for tuning in. That's Mike Orafor. Knuckle Up, guys. You know what it is.